Hello everybody, welcome to another day of Cosmoteer. Let's go ahead and dive right on into it. So what we are going to be doing and looking at is we're going to be looking at a space dwarf. And I learned this from somebody else, what a space dwarf is. And Hoshel, welcome. A space dwarf is this, which is a combat ship, which is just all miners. So the main things that we're going to be looking at is these designs are actually built by Hoshell, and you can see there's two different ones. There's one with 40 crew and one with 34 crew. Now I know I think he made even more modifications, but I'm going to take this original design and show what some of the things that I noticed on it, and then actually fix it up and make it even better than what it is. So one of the first things that I noticed here on this one right here is we got one crew member standing around doing absolutely nothing. That's one thing that I noticed in that one. This one also still has that one crew member standing around doing absolutely nothing, which we're gonna fix. But one of the things that you want to look at this ship is, even though it is just mining lasers for offense, it does have a little bit, a tiny bit of regular lasers as well. It actually can do a lot of damage and can do a lot of different things on it, especially with the small amount of crew. So if you've seen any of my gameplay historically, you'll notice that crew has always been a big, huge problem. But in this case, with something that has a lot less crew, I believe it was 36 crew to, let's restart it, 34 crew to 40 crew. So I'm actually going to just keep working on the 34 crew one, because this is what interests me the most. But one of the things that I do want to fix is the one crew member that's just standing there. So we have the default right here, and then we have operators. That's kind of all we have here for this ship. It works for what it is, but we might even be able to have the ability to reduce the crew even further. So basically what we're going to be doing is optimizing it and then pitting against bigger and better ships. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So the first thing I want to do is check to see if there's any dedications, which we do have dedications. Okay, so that dedication is for this, this, and this, which in theory this one right here could also be dedicated for thing. You know what? I'm going to actually break it. I'm gonna break his ship. So the first thing I'm gonna do is select all of them. We should do double and delete. Okay, that's the first thing I'm gonna do. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is come here and we're gonna copy this role. Sorry, duplicate the role, edit this role. We're gonna do an orange crew. We're gonna call this one engines. Job priorities, we're gonna strip everything out, right click this. We're literally gonna do set all priorities to 0. Then we're gonna come over here and we're gonna say we want you to be engine rooms. Give you a 4 for supply battery for engine rooms. I don't really want you guys walking out. I'm gonna actually give them a 1 for supply battery. And that's it. Okay. We're gonna take engine rooms, and we're gonna take engine rooms from, I'm actually gonna take engine rooms from here. Then we have operators. Let's see what operators roles are due. Operators. Those are operators for those. Are they also operators for control and cockpit? Yes. So we'll take operators. Let's take operators here. So this is 6 and 6. So 6 and 6. So we got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. I don't even know. I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we need one more operator on the side. Oh, I don't even want to take it from the engine room, guys. Okay, so we'll take it from there. That's gonna operate all those. Then we need one more engineer. Take engineers from there, and then these two right here will change back to white. for now. Okay, so then we really have for supplying shields, energy to here, and energy to point defenses is we got 6 guys on this side, 6 guys on this guy, and another 2. Oh, wait, there's another guy up here. Okay, we got 2 more up here for that. So these guys should actually be shields. So we're going to go over here. We're going to duplicate this roll. We're going to change this one. We're going to change this one to a pinkish. And we're going to call you guys shields. We're going to go job priorities. We're going to rip all these off. And we're going to change this one to do an 8 and an 8. And give this a 1. Okay, shields up front. We probably even need ability to mining lasers. I'll give you a 1 for now. Okay. Shields up front. That guy's gonna be this way. He's got in and out, in and out. There's a door there. Okay, door there. Okay. And then these guys are the defaults to give everything. Let's just see how that works for right now. So we're going to take this ship. We're going to save this ship design. We're going to save this as 1.1. And let's put it against itself. Okay, we have 34 crew. Small little mining laser. Let's see if we have guys walking all around. I got 2 operators sitting around doing nothing. Maybe I miscounted. No, I didn't rip off this priority, that's why. Okay, and then that off. We repair it. Save the ship design one more time. Double check to see if operators. Okay, so that didn't change anything. So I got 2 operators doing nothing, which we're going to just change this one to here. We save that. Put it against each other. We still have 1 guy floating around doing nothing. That's because of white crew members. It's probably a white crew member doing something I don't want him to do. Okay, so there's 2 right here. There's 2 guys sitting in there. Change the default role, take off this one right here. Where is it? Okay, so 10 for bridge. We'll strip these down to 8. Okay, and then these guys are going to be operators, so they should be 10s. They're going to flip them out. Which means... Okay, operators there. Did I miscount? Okay, yeah. I still do need 2 more operators. So 2 more operators here. They will... So I got 1, 2, 3... 3, 6, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. There should be all the operators, yeah. Those are operators, those are operators, those are operators. I think I counted it right. 3, 6, 5, 6, that's 2, 8. Yeah, that's right. Okay. We repair this ship. Constructions are blocking in the way. Can you repair now? I don't see what other ships blocking in the way. They should just allow it to delete. This ship's performing better with 40 crew compared to this one. but we're trying to manage with less crew. That's what we're trying to do. Actually, no, they're the same. Sorry. They're the exact same, except I'm changed the entire crew priorities. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is now we're going to add dedications. So dedications to each side of the ship. So this side of the ship, these are engineers, they're dedicated to those. Okay, so this one is going to be this side of the ship. Oh, I gotta take off the actual priorities of those. That's why this one's broken. That one's broken because there's a dedication there. So let's just stay on this side of the ship. Let's actually redo it without. Let's just see. Resave this ship. Okay. Try this again. Now we got rid of all the dedications. These shield guys should do shields. Okay, so they're doing shields, which is good. I'm actually going to take these guys off the larger shields. So we're going to change this job priority. We're going to rip this off. I want these guys just to get to these smaller shields. This one right here. I'm actually going to change the door pathway on this as well, because this is the frontal. And then that way they can stay in the front. Let's get the smaller shields. Let's get that. Wait, why are there white guys in the engine rooms? Okay, that's another problem too. So we're gonna rip off that as well. So we're gonna come to these engine rooms. And we're gonna say rip off the engine room, which is just 8. I gotta double check these. Okay, supply battery 7. This is 8. So we want the same as this one. So this one's an 8. 8, and then engine room for supply battery. Okay, so that should be 8 as well. And then we gotta double check the power for these podcasters because that's a 1. And then we gotta double check for point defenses. That's gonna be a 3. Okay, that's gonna be better. We save this ship design. We're gonna go to 1.2 at this point. 1.2. Start battle and go. Okay. So now it should work without the exact assigned priorities. You can see now the orange guys are in the engine rooms, orange guys are in the engine rooms. We've got the white guys actually going where we need to go. Now the other thing that I want to do here is actually keep these white guys on one side of the ship and these white guys on another one side of the ship. But first we're going to see if it performs at least as expectation against this other one. Now this one is working with the dedications because each ones are actually dedicated. And you can see right here it's working flawlessly because these guys are not running around the ship, which is what we want. For this one, I have guys literally running around back and forth from all parts of the ship, which there's goods to it and then there's bads to it. The goods to it is if we lose some section of the ship or I lose some shields, they will rededicate themselves to some other part of the ship and actually work on it. The bad is, you can see right here, they're literally running through the reactor, and this is a time, it can be a time waste depending on the type of battle. But as you can see right here in this example, this one's already ripped off this side. They are kind of competing against each other now with the actual dedications for where it needs to be. These two guys right here are literally staying at the front of the ship to help support the shields, which is a good thing. We've ripped off that large shield, where this large shield hasn't been ripped off just yet. So but we lost all the actual offensive disruptors on one side, where this one still has both the disruptors on both sides. A little bit more offensive if we change a few things. I think it's still performing decently. We don't have that one extra guy sitting in the back like how this one does, so we're actually utilizing all the crew with this change. Except for these right here, the operators. So this is another thing that I want to change too. I've noticed a lot of people, when they build their ships and they make operators, they don't ever give them a secondary anything. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually change these operators to give them a secondary, give them an actual secondary something, which in this case would be shields and engine rooms. If you give them just a 3, they'll still do their duties as a 10. But they're not going to walk away from it. And then the point defenses as well, we can give this a 3. Okay. And we'll give the mining lasers also a 3. Okay. It gives them something else to do. They're still not going to bypass all these other ones, only if there's anything extra to do. For now. And then we're still fighting this other ship. I wonder which one's actually good to. That one still has the shields up, and this one doesn't. Both these shields are facing outwards. I actually kind of want one to face inwards, because you can see over here you can cut down right down the middle. This new one that I changed the rules on, it did win, but not by much. Made those changes, and then what I want to do here is I'm going to make the next change to this, which is this. You will be dedicated to one side of the ship. Actually, I gotta check resources too. Resources, okay, those are okay, good. You to and engine rooms as well. And then there. And the other guys is gonna be dedicated to those. That's that side of the ship. And then this one right here will also be the same on this side of the ship. Rid of that one. And then we have, I don't have a floater, so I don't have anything to supply those. So that means I still have to do mining lasers. If I want both guys up there, I guess we will. And the only shield I want you to worry about is going to be this one. Okay, we do have a floater. This is a floater right here. I'm not going to assign that one. And then let's save the ship design. We'll go to 1.3. Let's test this out again. So we got 2 floaters right here. These 2 guys right here, which can go anywhere on the ship. This guy, these guys over here are dedicated to this side of the ship. These guys over here are dedicated to this side of the ship. So we should see you guys less running around the entire actual reactor, which should help. I feel like I have an extra door here. What are the dedications for the shields these guys have? 8 and 8. I'll leave it. I'm also noticing these small lasers are not getting any power, which is a 7. So this is a 9 and an 8. Disruptors have higher priority. So what I did was I just changed it so that the operator is sitting there. See how he was sitting there? He's going to actually get batteries to resupply the lasers and then reoperate it. And then this operator is going to run back and he's going to go to the other side. He's going to do this laser. So you see he now powered it and then he's now using it. And that's all the number 3 did. So they don't just sit there. And obviously these guys can't do anything more because they ripped off the corridors. But thinking this should change here. This should move. Maybe. Leave it alone for now. Made some changes. I like the changes. Let's repair this. Let's come over here. Let's save it as 1.3. I mean, I wasn't even using 1.3, so 1.4. Maybe I wasn't using. Maybe I didn't load 1.3. 4. We gotta go 1.3. And I didn't save the dedications because I wasn't at 1.3. Okay, so this is this, and then what I was gonna change here is this one over here, edit roll. This one's gonna be lasers. This is gonna be a 3. Okay, and then we save this ship design as 1.4, overwriting that one. Here, 1.4. Restart and go. Why are the operators? Oh, because of the dedications. No. Let's fix it. Should fix that. Switch this to 1.5. Here we go. Okay. Working. I think it's working now. There's shields, doors. Small lasers out of power, which is fine. The operator walk away to get power for the actual lasers. But they reoperate the actual small lasers, so they're not doing it. Then when they actually have a priority, they do something. I'm just double checking everything. I'm wondering why this mini laser doesn't have power. Because they're dedicated to other things right now. Which these guys right here. Okay, so that was the other thing that's broken. Is this. This didn't get saved for whatever reason. Okay, so now those are the guys in the engine rooms. Okay. That's that. More crew, so I literally had crew that wasn't assigned properly, which the engine room guys, which just stay in the engine rooms. Say this is 1.6. When you make changes and you forget to change the ship. 1.6. Try this again. Okay, so engine rooms are in the engine room, engine in the engine room. These guys are supplying that side, displaying this side. These guys are the shields. We got one floater back here. I'm going to speed this up ×4. Just see how it fights versus itself with now role dedications and segregation. lose most part of the ship. You can see the operators are still working here, which is a good thing compared to this ship. We have guys standing around. Well, I don't know if we were still having guys standing around, but see, this ship's still operating even though I lost parts of the ship. Like the operators are still actually functioning and doing stuff because they're now assigned to do stuff. So that is how the ship should work and function better with less crew and everybody's actually working. Okay, so I think that ship is good for what it is. Now let's go to another one, which is the 40 crew one, and let's see how it faces versus the 40 crew one. You can see cost-wise, it's literally only 36,000 more, or a little over 37,000 more plus ish. But the difference is crew. Once you add 6 more crew members to this ship, I can tell it's already going to function. And I like this back part right here. This keeps this part on. I wonder if we can just take this 40 crew ship and then merge it into this one. 34 crew ship. There's the extra armor for the engine rooms and the shield placement. Okay, so that's where the difference is. There's an extra shield back here, an extra shield back here, which helps protect this section. I like this layout better. It also has more mining lasers, so this one only has 2 over here. 1, 2, 1, 2. 2 on each side, where this one has 3 and 3. So it has 1 extra mining laser. This one has a mining laser down the middle. For all these mining lasers is 3 and 3. It's a 40 crewman ship. I'm liking this one a lot more. I'm wondering if we could flip one of these shields inward facing the front, so we can fix this better. But I mean, there is enough armor for now with the damage that it does. 40 crew. Right. This one, he already has the dedications. Dedication. So this side is his ship. He's got both of the shields plus this hyperdrive up here. So I can jump around, I can zip around. I'm liking this 40 crew one a lot better. 6 more crew, cost-wise almost the same. But for 40 crew more, oh no, 6 crew more. This one is actually a really cool ship. Check out that one, 1.6. Then he has an 18 crew one, and then these other ones, and then 2 18 crew ones. Here's my bigger question. And I don't remember where I put it. I think I put it here. Oh, this is a nice paint design that Jose made of the 50 crew laser ship, which any energy weapon ship that you have, this has literally been worked on a lot. Finally changed to be such a nice laser ship. I'm wondering if this 40 crew one can beat this 50 crew ship, because this ship can do a lot of damage. But this ship, I believe, is going to be faster with double engine rooms on both sides. I Okay, there's an issue right there. Power to 2 of the mining lasers. Now 3 of the mining lasers are now out, which is basically a lot of damage. Not really an issue, but concern when in a heavy battle like this. This ship is constantly, you can see, firing. None of the actual lasers go out of power, even while taking damage. Where this one, your damage gets reduced because the mining lasers are not firing, and or the small lasers are not firing. But they're supporting other parts of the ship, such as the shields, as you can see. Which one wins? I'm thinking the mining laser one actually might win because the damage is in the back here. And they haven't ripped past these shields, so they're literally just taking off these ones. And then this shield right here acts as a target. This is what I'm liking. So this part right here, the shield part, instead of this armor right here, there should be somehow armor. This disruptor. Could this move in and rip off this laser? Just leave 2 disruptors. I think that would work better. Make this more armor. One more piece of armor. Rip off this small laser. Put in disruptor. And I think that would work better. Oh, shell. It's still 1, but I was like, okay, let's change this even more. So what I would suggest doing is this right here. Take this, and before I rip it off, double check, see what's what. So I got this 1, 2, 3, 4. What about this one? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 guys are all dedicated to that. I was double checking to see what is the dedication so I don't mess it up completely. So this is literally going to go in 1 step right there. And then this piece of extra armor can be changed to an extra corridor. This off. And then now this can be armor. I will layer stack this like this. And then this. Give me something like that. Raises the cost a tiny bit. Now we take the 1, 2, 3, 4, and we dedicate it back to that. And then let's resave the ship. Come back over here to the laser mining fleet, new, and this one's gonna be a 1.1. Changed it. 0.1. And now we actually pull 2 more crew members back into the ship to do other things with that. And then there's just a guy doing nothing. Why is he doing nothing? Because he's just dedicated to that. Oh, so this one guy is a floater for the actual point defenses. Probably should assign them hyperdrives too, though. I don't know what this is hyperdrive. Why are they doing opposites? Hyperdrives. You guys can also be assigned to this hyperdrive for that. This guy here is they've got those hyperdrives, okay? And then loader for this. And that's going to be dedicated to the middle of the ship. I almost want you a floater for the engine rooms as well. we're gonna do that. Mess it up. This side to this side. There we go. That's that ship. Okay. It's still one against the other ship, and then lost even less. So this shield acts as a barrier. You see how this damage right here? We're looking at the damage report. So this extra armor right here added to this. This piece right here doesn't seem like it's worth that much because it literally just blew this part off. And then these crew members right here. Can we move them? I want to move them because you already have the protection back here. Because I don't want to lose crew members from this damage right here. And this one right here. So, losing crew members. So, what we want to try to move is this one and this one. If I could move this one here, then when you lose this shield, you don't lose this. I like the placement of this one. I like the placement of this one. The damage report you can see is this way. This. I gotta figure out the dedication for this one first. This is. The whole half of the ship. Okay, got it. Take this, move this to here. Take this armor. That way you don't lose the engine room so quickly. It's got all this extra armor here. This is maybe a little too much armor on this side right here. These just add extra weight. Rip this off. And nope. No, I don't like that either. Undo. Control Z. Leave that for now. Okay, and then increases that cost a tiny bit more. We're going to rededicate these guys to the whole half of the ship. Look at that. Oh, we gotta change the armor back here. Alright, this is going to be... We receive damage, it's gonna be like that. Save ship design, this is gonna be 1.2. Restart. Go. Fix this, fix that, fix this. I like it. I like it. I don't like this running out of power, but I like rests. What I want to test here, we're going to speed this up a tiny bit. I want to see if they still shoot at this with all the extra armor that I just added. The disruptors are still going, even though we lost this. In fact, you see, this even one with even a... Here, we'll start to swap and do this one on this side now. That one barely sustained any damage. What I want to see is, will it target these shields that are all the way in the back? So we target the heavy. Oh, it's so much more dangerous. Okay, let's take this one. Let's take the original. How does the original face it? lost a shield, and they're going to target the other heavy shields. The disruptors are totally fine because there's no laser there. Okay, this one lost his heavy shield first. Now we're losing the other things. We lost the disruptors on this side, we lost the shield. Slow it down, I want to see where the damage is going. So they are targeting this. So you see with all the extra armor, we blew off this one, where this one I've already blown off the other shield, and now they haven't got past this. And they're still targeting the shield and the shield, so this extra armor here is actually good. This extra armor right here is only good if their ships are sideswiping you, so it does add a little bit extra weight, but it's still good. So these shields are protecting, so it's a double layer with this extra shield right here where they're targeting this. That is an extra bonus with the extra armor, as you can see. I took off the small lasers, but this is so much better. Now that they're going to come over here, and now it's going to target this one. It's going to target the disruptors, and then it's going to target this shield, where I still have the full damage capabilities. This ship still has that too, but you can see it already lost it because I didn't have the extra armor. So when you're building ships, and I know this constantly hit on a long time ago, or people that are watching are new to this, new to my YouTube. Layer stacking your shields so that they have multiple chances. As you can see over here, these shields, you can see has multiple chances. It's aiming at the engine rooms now. Yeah, it's aiming at this engine room right here. I don't know if there's anything we can fix with that. You can see those armor fell off. That's why I was saying it was useless in a front-to-front battle. But these shields are totally have multiple chances as the AI is trying to shoot at the engine room now. And even if you lost this engine room, you still don't lose your main battle force, your main actual ship right here in the middle. And then the other important thing too is losing crew. So you see right here, we lost 6 crew. We lost this right here. So this is nice and all, but I want to move this into a section that doesn't lose part of the ship. So I'm even considering moving these crew quarters somewhere else. Like change these to 6 crew and then change this to a 2 crew. So if this is a 2 crew right here, and then flip it this way, it might still survive. So the 6 crew members come back here, and this is a 2 crew member, so that when it does the damage this way, this is actually still an extra piece of armor to help protect this in the engine room. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Oh, before I do that, let me double check the dedications, which is this side of the ship. Okay, everything on this side of the ship. Got it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this and we're going to flip this here, and then we're going to take a double crew members and we're going to slide this one in this way. And this should move there. We got in and out quicker to the actual this way, quicker that way. Okay, that one's like that, that's like that, and then this can be one more piece of extra armor or that, which helps protect this and protects the engine room as it does damage this way. But we also have to be mindful of armor to target ratio, and then make that so. And then now we need to redo all the dedications for this and this, which is literally, I believe it was everything. Dedicate to those two. Up to that point. Okay, resave this ship. We'll go to 1.3. Face it versus the original again. Now the concern here with moving these 6 crew members in the back, as you can see, is it's going to take them longer to get to the front of the ship because they got to walk. Once they actually engage in battle, though, it should be fine. It should be better. so that we don't lose the crew. It takes longer to get up, so you can see right here the power to this because these 6 crew members are in the back. What if I were to change this way, this way, this way? This can be 6 crew members. Where else can we put the 6 crew members? I'm trying to think of where to put these because I don't like these guys in the back. Too long for our upstart to do the damage I want. It's better in the sense that you save your crew members because they're in the back and they stay part of the ship. It's worse in the sense that it takes them too long to walk all the way out here. In fact, these storage bays should change. I was thinking moving it here, but then I don't have all this extra. That won't work. Alright, where to put it? What if we put it... Oh, the damage report this way. So you see this extra armor? The AI target right down the middle because there's too much armor. Too much armor right here. So that change is actually for the worst. So we'll undo 1.3, we'll go back to 1.2. That's just one too much extra armor. So when we change this and move this and put armor there, the AI targeted down the middle, which means we would have to add more armor in the middle if we change that. Plus, I didn't like the fact that I put the 6 crew members back here. It took too long for them to get up and actually up ramp, so the 6 crew members here is actually better. Even though you're going to lose these crew, the chances of you losing it in a heavy battle is you're just going to lose 6 crew members here, 6 crew members here. Not that huge of a bad of a loss. I'll live with it. I'm gonna live with it. Let's speed this up. I just want to make sure it still wins against the original. Which in theory it should with the extra armor. I just lost that one. We're gonna lose an engine room. We're gonna lose another engine room, I think. Okay, so we lost both weapon systems. AI targeting doing its own thing. Yeah, this one still has disruptors and lasers firing on it, so it has more damage. Before we lost both the other things. Huh. Sometimes though, a ship on the right always does better than a ship on the left for whatever reason. But it's a toss-up between the two. I'm liking how this ship, when it loses things though, and the extra armor there, in most cases, you can see right here, it did more damage to this other one. It just depends on what the AI is deciding to target for whatever reason. In most cases, you see, even though it lost this, we haven't lost the engine room yet, and this side already did. And then this one's going to lose this side with that shield. But losing the weapon system, so these extra lasers and the way the damage is doing, like all the changes. The original is still beating the improved one. Restart and swap. When you restart and swap, the ship on the right, for some reason, does do better. So anytime you're doing an AI battle versus an AI battle, the ship on the right, for whatever reason, sometimes performs better than the ship on the left. And so that's why you swap them. we still lost the... This one have a fire extinguisher? Okay, the fire extinguisher's still there. Okay. But once you lose those both those laser systems, if you still have disruptors going, which is right here, if the disruptors are still going, then the other ship's gonna win. So you see how the ship went there. As soon as it just swapped the signs, ship on the right, ship on the left, the ship on the right performs better. For whatever reason. And then this one still lost its... Well... Alright, let's take this ship, which was the 1.3. Let's add it to the other sections. We're going to come over here, we're going to save this ship. We're going to save it into the mining laser fleet. So like that one. Then we're going to go back over here to the new ships, which is the 1. I think we're on 1.6. What does 1.6 fare against the original? If you can win on the left, then you're doing better than the one on the right. So 1.6 is the modified version of it. There's this one, which is the original. And we'll add these to the fleet. So the whole point of the main reason I'm doing this one is we're building a mining laser ship fleet. And what I want to test is see if this can function on Grand Admiral. And then do a playthrough with just mining dwarfs in Grand Admiral setting. It already did perform better than the other laser one, and we already have some higher level ships. It's the starter ships that is going to cause concern whether or not this can actually perform and do well in a starter based scenario. I actually almost was about to click on Discord, but I forgot that it will pause this game. So I was going to click on Discord, and I know Hoshell actually provided some more ships to add into this, so I do need to look at those. But I just wanted to showcase, these are the ones that Hoshell built recently, and these are really, really nice ships. But maybe the original still performs better than the modifications that I assumed it did. I have to play around with it more. I know this video is actually, this live stream is becoming a little longer on the long side. That is an interesting thing to change and do. Okay, we have people standing around doing nothing. This one, I don't see anybody standing around doing nothing. Yeah, standing around doing nothing. This one right here, I see nobody's sitting in the bunkers. So at least there's that good one. Somebody's always doing something. Damage-wise, because it's the same ship, either it's a heads or tails of who can win. Especially since the ship is the ship on the right and this is the ship on the left, and for whatever reason the ship on the right always performs better. A little bit better. Okay, speed this up. This one has a disruptor, so this one's actually, well, we're losing disruptors now. Trying to shoot at the engine rooms. This one still has engine rooms, and then this one losing because the AI for some reason decided to shoot down the middle. And not at the engine rooms where this one's still targeting the engine rooms, so AI's decision to do what it wanted to do. Okay, let's clear everything. I know there's a little lot of debris. I still like the 1.6. I think it's going to perform the way that I want it to. So I'm going to take 1.6 and play with 1.6 in the game. So I'm going to save this ship design into the mining laser fleet. Let's go ahead and look at the next ones that we have. So I know that there's another couple new ones, which is the 18 crew ones. We've taken both 18 crew ones. I personally like this one more, but I don't know which one performs better. I think the other one will perform better just because the shields are facing inward. Right here. See, these shields are facing inward. It's actually a smaller design. This one's bigger. But this one's going to do more damage because it's got 3 lasers. But if we can change one of these shields, these outer ones, to face inward, this is the change I'd make to this one. I would take these shields and double make sure that I'm going to not break it. Okay. What dedications do they have here? No. Okay. Those. Okay. So this I want to just flip to be like this. I know I'm ripping off the actual other thing. Then this come back here, and then these are facing inward like that to protect this one right here with the armor. We get less protection than this side like that. But what happens here is now we need the fire extinguishers back in. Does them at the back of the ship. Redo the dedications. I just broke it. Save the ship design. Go to 1.1. We put it back in. Let's see how this goes. I was actually considering moving these shields because these shields would actually add the protection of both sides. This one I can see we're actually only just protecting the armor side. But it depends on where they're actually hitting. But this shield should be, it's barely covering. It covers what, this? I need to find out if it actually covers this laser or not. Speed this up. Okay, so it does. So the shield's protecting that. But for whatever reason, once you change this because they added the extra armor, it's not shooting at these because of the extra armor. So there's a check and balance. We added too much extra armor on these sides right here, so they're not shooting at the sides. Compared to now that it has the extra armor, the shield, even though it adds that protection. I'm gonna refer to back. I prefer them to shoot the outsides compared to shooting down the middle, which I think it still did shoot down the middle. This is protecting this, this is protecting this, or what if this were to move one more up? Then you have protecting on both sides. Okay. Here's the thought process. Take this one, come over here, rip this one off. Flip it over like this. And that won't work. That won't work with the laser that way. I wish you could add the doors for the laser on the front or something like that differently. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Undo. Okay, so this ship, even though I like it, this ship's going to perform better for the less cost because of these shields right here like that. Mine lasers in the back, disruptors. This is a combat ship only, there's no storage. Does this one have storage? No, no storage either. Gonna have to work on these smaller ships. Think about it some more. I like them both still. And then we go back to the starter one. So the starter one, I have a 1.3. I know I showcased it a tiny bit. The other one, it's 1.3. It just looks awful. It's not meant to look cool, but what it can do is you take the built-in ships, you go to Imperium, you go to combat, You go to the crew and the fewest, and this if you want to test on Grand Admiral, and you take another ship that has the same amount of crew, which is 8 crew, and you pit it against each other. Now this is the one ship that it couldn't face because it's couldn't face it because of the cannons. But you take this tiny little starter ship and slow it back down, and you face it against another ship, which is an Imperium ship. These Imperium ships are very deadly to face against, especially early game, beginning of the game. You can see as a mining laser starter, this will be an actual starter ship you can play with. The 3 layers of defense with an actual shield. Well, how it should perform, and I don't know if it's going to perform here now that I'm doing the live stream. As you can see, the AI didn't actually provide cover to the shield, but it's supposed to actually win versus the other ship, or you can stand a chance against it if you're controlling it yourself. I think I need to fix the dedications for the white crew members, which is small shield is 6, and I think laser is 6. That was the thing they were doing. Oh, what's the mining laser at? Job priorities, mining laser, okay, it is at a 6. So it's the same. It should just provide shield cover. But what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to change this, duplicate this role, and then have one just for shields. So what I'm talking about here is we're going to take this, we're going to come over here, we're going to duplicate this role, edit this role, we're going to change this to a pinkish color, call this one shields. We got caps lock on. Still have caps locks on. Okay, job priorities, and then this is gonna switch this and then just change this to a 7. You still do all the other priorities. There we go. Except that's a 7 now. Save this ship. This is gonna be in the laser fleet. Still working on it. 1.4. That way when we do Grand Admiral on the starter ship for 1.4, should perform the way it should. They're still sitting in the lasers. I think we need to change that. Make it an 8. And we'll change this to the cockpit. Cockpits. Change this to 8. And then also change this disruptor 9. We'll change it to 7. There we go. Now we just got the 2 members just for the shields and then everything else. And this should work better for Grand Admiral. So I come over here, repair the ship, save the ship, do 1.5. Now when we do Grand Admiral on this one as a starter ship, it will win and do what it needs to do. Should win anyways. We got 2 guys dedicated just for the shields, and then these other guys are going to run around and do everything else, which is power the weapons, power the engines. Disruptor got out of power. The mining lasers still going. We're gonna lose power to the engine rooms. But at least now we have the defense. When you're playing a Grand Admiral, you gotta have a defense and you still have to have offense. Why are you turning that way? And then the attack defaults, for whatever reason. Oh, this one's purposely getting out of range. And I don't have powered engine rooms because I lost this section right here. That was the concern right there, is you don't have any protection side, and then I'm gonna lose this. So the main reason why this ship is going to win is because it's doing distances, and even though it lost all the weight, now I can stay at a distance and it can just keep firing on me. And I don't have any power to here. I still think this is going to work though. Change that I made, but I think it's going to work. So we're going to add this one to... deposit. Add this one to the mining laser fleet. 1.5. And good to go. Alright. First is running out of power because crews are recharging shields. Yeah. And this... I can move it to another place, but the protection for this thigh thruster right here is important. This would be... I wonder if this can move one more down, and then move this. That way they can add protection right here, protection right there. In most cases, you're not going to fight an Imperium ship like that, and I see how she'll send me something. Oh, he sent me another design. That was for the other one. I'll have to look at it more. Anyways, I know this was a long one, so thank you for sticking around, staying and watching. So if you enjoyed this content, please feel free to hit the like button. It helps me out a ton. Helps push out this content to other people, bring awareness to it. If you like, please feel free to leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Especially what you don't like, so that I can improve and make better content. If you have not already, please feel free to subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, that's okay as well. Come back once a week, once a month. Check out what content I have. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. And you all have a wonderful rest of your day.